Welcome everyone and thank you for joining today's session. We are excited to present our webinar on diverse GST billing in Busy. This session is designed to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of GST billing process using the Busy accounting software. Where you are a second user or new to Busy, this webinar will offer valuable insights into optimize your GST billing practices. We will cover a range of topics including invoice designing, compliance with GST regulations, and tips for managing diverse billing scenario. Let's dive in and explore how Busy can help streamline your GST billing and ensure accuracy and efficiency in your financial operations. First, we'll understand about the market scenario, or you can say the potential. According to the market scenario, we can figure out that there are almost 1 crore 27 lakhs regular taxpayer. If we discuss about the composition taxpayer, there is almost 15 lakh taxpayer of composition parties. Input service distributor is around 8,000. Casual taxpayer is near about 686, and tax collected at source industries may be 21,166. So these are certain market scenario that I am discussing right now. You can get the figure against that market scenario. Now let's understand with the scenario. Arun, a registered taxpayer in India, used to generate tax invoice for selling goods and services and file tax return with the government. But after a few months, Arun has been facing a lot of challenges in managing GST billing and wasted lot of time in GST calculation and tax adjustment. But now, Arun has easily managed the GST compliances and giving proper time to manage his business, which is had to be given for GST management, and his business is also growing better and better because Arun is using Busy accounting software. Now let's see what solution Busy has given, your Busy software has provided to Arun. First, the challenges faced by the GST registered taxpayer is to create a party, and for that Busy is giving a solutions that through which you can create your party automatically by a GSTN number. That means once you put the GSTN number, from there your party's detail will be captured automatically. You no need to type the party name manually. So you can create the party through GSTN number also from Busy accounting software. Let's see practically the process or the feature in Busy. So for creating party through GST number, you can go to Administration, Master, Accounts. You can press Add button. Here you will find a shortcut key in the bottom line to pick party detail from GST number. If you press F4 over here, GST validation screen will appear A1ZZ. So you can see all the details of the particular GST number has reflect over here. And once you click on this update back and quit, the entire information related to that GST number, the party name, the address, it will get captured automatically in the screen. You no need to type it manually. So in this way, you can create a party against a GST number. If you find this feature quite effective for your business, you can message us in QA chat box also. Now coming on the next challenges, that is to find the status of party GST number. Is the GST number correct or incorrect? So in that case, Busy is giving you a solution with an option to validate the GST number of your customers or your suppliers. Let's see the option in Busy. So for that, you can go to transaction options. Under transaction, you will find an option called GST miscellaneous utilities. From here, you can get an options called validate GST online. So if you need to validate single GST number, you can click over here. If you need to validate multiple GST number, you can click over here. Now, if you click on this load data, you will get the entire detail of the account name, the GSTN number, and also will get the validity status. Now, if you select all and if you revalidate you want to revalidate 1 second, you click on this validate online button, it will get it validate. from the portal, and it will show you the status, the current status of this GST number in this screen. So you no need to go to portal and check whether the GST number is active or inactive. So if you find this feature a useful feature, then you can also comment in our QA chat box with yes or no. Coming on the next challenges, that is the checking of HSN or SSC code of item. That means validation of HSN and SSC code of a item. So we all know that in case of GST, each and every item has a certain HSN and SSC code, or you can say SSC code or HSN code. So if you need to validate this HSN and SSC code, Busy is giving a solution and Busy is providing an option. So let's see the option in Busy. If you go to GST miscellaneous utilities, which is under transaction, you will find an option called validate HSN online. So once you click over here, you will find same options over here also, single HSN or multiple HSN. If you click over here, if you click on this load data, all the items with the HSN code will appear in this screen. If you select all and if you click on this validate online, then it will get validated automatically from the portal whether the HSN is valid or invalid. Okay, so this is features that Busy is providing that will help you in your GST compliances to manage your day-to-day GST compliances. Coming on the next challenges. Now GST transactions. Now this is the main thing and our main focus of today's webinar, that what kind of GST billing we can do from Busy accounting software. So you can use or you can apply GST tax in voucher level also. Let's see how we can apply GST tax in voucher level. So in case of voucher level, if you need to apply tax in your sales invoice, you can go to transaction sales, you can click on add button, you can select the sales type here. If you want to apply 12% GST in overall voucher, you can select local 12%, or if you want to select the type central, in case of central you can select central 12%, in case of local bill you can select local 12%. So you select the party to whom you are going to generate a bill, and you select the items, you mention the price, and then if you click on this apply tax button, or if you press F4 over here, then your tax will get calculated automatically in the voucher level. Same way, if you need to apply tax at item level, and that is also exclusive, means the item value should be exclusive of tax. In that case, how you can do it? In that case, you can go to sales type, you can select the sales type as local item wise, or you can select it central item wise. In case of central, you can use, in case of central billing, you can use central item wise sale type. In case of local billing, you can use local item wise. Means if you are going to generate bill for same state, then you have to select local item wise, and if you want to generate bill for other state, then you have to select central item wise. So if you select local item wise, in this case what will happen, you no need to capture the tax in the bottom line. If you put the amount, if you press enter, then the tax will get calculated in each and every item level. So if I select another item over here, and if I press enter, then the tax will calculate on each and every item level. You can see my taxation summary details is also coming. In first item the tax was 18%, in the second item the tax is 12%. Now if I save this, let me show you the invoice format also accordingly this. If I save this, if I see the preview, then it will show you the columns has been generated accordingly that. So you can get this item wise column, item wise tax column in the invoice format. Similar way, if you generate bill in voucher level, if you generate the bill with tax calculating in voucher level, then let me show you the preview in this case. If you click on apply tax, or if you press F4 button to apply your tax, so let's say for example this belongs to different tax percentage. If I select over here, if I save it, in this case let me see the preview how it's come, whether the columns get created for the taxation item wise or not. Let's see. If you click on this preview, you can find out there's no tax column have appeared in the screen. In the format, the taxation has taken place in the bottom line. in the voucher. So if you have only one tax in your voucher, then you can use the sale type according to your need of your transaction in your business. Similar way, if we need to do inclusive billing, that mostly required in the retail sectors, in the retail business, where value is inclusive of tax, where item value is inclusive of tax. In that case, how you can record that transaction? So for that case, you have to select the sales type tax inclusive. It may be a central tax inclusive or it may be a local tax inclusive, depend on the type of transaction you're going to do. So if you select the party, and if you select the items, if you press enter over amount, if you press enter, you can find out or you can figure out that this 850 amount is including of tax, and it will show you the back calculation of that taxable amount. It will show, if you click on this tax summary button, it will show you the actual taxable amount, the CGST amount, the SGST amount. That means 850 amount has been inclusive of all taxes. Okay. Next, if you want to do a transaction related to a service invoice, if you are going to generate a service bill to your customer, then in that case you can select the sale type as service. Okay, so in that case you can do one thing. You select the sale type, let's say for example 18%, and you select the party and you select the items over here. Let's say you select a service item, that is suppose tailoring charges. So in item tailoring charges, you have mentioned the tax category, the service 18% over here. Whenever you create that item, that service item, you have mentioned the tax category as service 18%. And if you don't need to maintain stock for this service item, then you can select the unit NA. NA means the stock will not reflect for this particular item. Okay, now you can see the cursor will also move directly in the amount column. Now if you press enter and if you click on this apply tax, this service charge will appear, the GST tax will appear over here related to the service percentage. And once you save this, you can also generate a print preview for this service bill. Okay, if you need to see the preview, you can get it from this option. Okay, you can see no quantity, no price, no discount box, or no options is coming in this column. Directly amount is coming in the amount column and the taxation is applying in the bottom line. So if you need to hide this quantity price from the design, you can do it in Busy also in case of service bill. So you can generate multiple invoice format for your different type of transaction. It may be a service transaction, it may be a general goods transactions. Next is to do an export bill. That means if you are going to export any goods outside of India, you are going to record an export transaction, then in that case you have to select the sale type here as export. And export may be a two-way. It may be a taxable export or it may be a zero rated exported item. So if the item is taxable, then you can select export taxable and you can select the party that belongs to outside of India. You can select that party from here. Let's say this party is outside of India, this party belongs to United States. As whenever I create this party, I have mentioned the country as United States. So it's a outside of India party, and I select the item. Let's say I'm selecting this item. And if this item is a taxable amount item, then I can click apply tax to calculate the tax in this voucher. Now if I select export zero rated, then no tax will be applied. That means the tax will be in zero rated for that particular items. Okay. Coming on the next type of transaction, that is SEZ. That means special economic zone. That means if you are going to record a transaction or if you are going to record a transaction with a party that belongs to a special economic zone, then you can select the sale type as, or you can create a sale type called SEZ. Okay, SEZ may be a two type, that may be a taxable or a zero rated. If you need to create a sale type, you can do one thing. You can go to administration and under master, you can create the sale type from here also. By default, these all sale type will get created whenever you're going to create a fresh company. You no need to create the sale type. Still, if you need to create more sale type, you can create from this add button. Okay, so if I select SEZ taxable, that means if any item belongs to the a taxable item, then I can select ACZ taxable and I can select the item also, and I can press enter and I can click apply tax to apply the tax on this transaction. Now if I select SEZ zero rated, then no tax will appear in the item. That means the item will be recorded as a zero rated tax in this transaction, where you can select the sale type as SEZ zero rated. RCM invoice, reverse charge mechanism, mostly appear whenever you're going to record a transaction with an unregistered party. So you can also generate a RCM in case of sales transactions also. If you need to generate your RCM invoice from sale transaction, you can select over here, or you can create your RCM sale type from here. Let's say I select the central RCM invoice, that I've created a sale type called central RCM invoice. Okay, so I select the party, which may be an unregistered party. Okay, so if I select that party, and if I want to generate a RCM sale invoice, then I can simply select the, let's say I'm going to generate a service bill to an unregistered party, then I can select the service item. If I'm going to generate a goods bill to an unregistered party, then I will select the goods item and I can proceed for this transaction that will be recorded as a central RCM invoice. Mostly we generate or we record RCM from purchase entry. So let me show you the RCM process also, how you can generate RCM from purchase voucher. If you're going to provide the purchase voucher number, then you select this purchase type, that is called local RCM unregistered. You select this, you select the RCM party. Okay. Now, if you are going to import a service, then you can select import service. If you are going to record a transaction related to goods, then you can select goods and you can select the reverse charge as compulsory. And if you select this ITC eligibility as import service, then you have to select the reverse charge as service import. If you are going to record the RCM transaction on the basis of service import, then you have to select the reverse charge as service import. Let's say I select compulsory and I select the item and I save this transaction. I record another purchase entry. I select party and I select the ITC eligibility as import service, and then I select the reverse charge as service import. Here I can select the service item and I can provide the amount, service amount, and I can save this transaction. So both the transaction has been recorded with the unregistered party under RCM. And if I want to convert this transaction in RCM payable, then I can go to GST miscellaneous utilities, and from here I can go to check post consolidated RCM payable. Now if I click on this daily basis, I mention the specific starting date and ending date from which I have recorded the transaction. If I press OK, then accordingly that my detail will reflect over here. Let me see whether I have done the transaction on which date. I have done the transaction on 10th of April. So if I go to GST miscellaneous utilities, I select check post consolidated RCM, I mention daily basis, and I mention that suppose 10th, from 10th April I'm going to generate this. So you can see this entry showing over here. If I press enter over here, from here I am going to see two purchase entries I have done. If I press F4 from here, I am able to record a RCM payable directly from this report. If I click yes, then a consolidated RCM payable transaction will appear, where once I save this to proceed this consolidated RCM, then both the purchase will appear over here. And also I can generate the RCM invoice number against that particular transaction where invoice number is blank. Okay, so if I save this will also reflect in a GST 2 as a reverse charge liabilities. If I save this, from here I can also print my tax invoice for RCM. Okay, so this is the process how you can record your RCM transaction from purchase as well as sales also. That means if you are going to generate your RCM transaction in a particular date or in a specific date range or in a month, then you can record or you can convert that RCM payable in a consolidated way, or you can do the general posting of your RCM payable in consolidated with all the related transactions. So these are all about that GST transactions. Now coming on the another challenges, that is the fast generation of e-way bill. So today e-invoice and e-way bill is our most required features that needed to manage our GST compliances from the software. So Busy is giving a flexible and a errorless and a hassle-free option to generate your e-way bill and e-invoice automatically and very quickly. So let's see how we can generate e-way bill and e-invoice. So for that, you can generate you can record your transaction, sales transaction, and you select the party, select the items, and let's say I select this sale type as item, as you can select any sale types as per the need of your business. And if you save this, a transportation detail box will appear where it will ask you to provide the vehicle number. If you're going to generate e-way bill, then you can mention your vehicle number over here. You can generate your e-invoice as well as e-way bill also. If you need to generate both e-invoice and e-way bill, then you can enable this. And if you need to generate e-way bill within e-invoice, that means your e-invoice will get generated, and in this e-invoice format your e-way bill number will also get generated. So if you need this, you can enable these options. Okay. Or if you need to generate your e-way bill and e-invoice individually, then you can enable both these options. Now your distance will appear automatically, and if you click on this OK button and you save this, it will ask you to generate your e-invoice. If you press yes, you can click on this automatic option, and if you press OK, then Busy will also guide you before going to generate your e-invoice. Busy will guide you in this way to check possible errors. If you have done any kind of mistakes in the transaction, it will guide you over here. It will show you the mistakes, or it will show you the error in this screen. You can easily rectify the transaction from here, and then you can proceed for e-invoice generation. If you click on this generate e-invoice, if you press OK, then your e-invoice will get generated automatically. And if you need to print this e-invoice, you can press yes to print your e-invoice. Next, if you need to generate your e-way bill, you can press yes button to generate your e-way bill automatically. Similar way, it will also ask you to check whether you have done any mistakes in the transaction. If you need to check it, you can click on this check possible errors, or you can proceed with view generate e-way bill. It's showing all the details: the supplier detail, the address, the receiver detail, the item details, the transporter names, the distance, the vehicle numbers. You can click on this generate e-way bill to proceed further for generation of e-way bill. Okay, so here also it will ask you to print your e-way bill. If you need to print the QR code, the e-invoice QR in your tax invoice, and also if you need to print the e-way bill number in your tax invoice, then also you can print in your own tax invoice. So in your tax invoice, your e-way bill number will appear. Okay, your e-invoice detail will also appear with the e-invoice QR code if you enable the information in your tax invoice. So if you need to enable that information in your tax invoice, you can go to administration configuration, invoice document printing, and you can click on the standard. You can click on the sales invoice, and from here you can enable this option called print e-invoice QR code. To enable this, if you save this, then your e-invoice detail will also get printed on your tax invoice. So you can see the e-invoice QR code has been printed in your original tax invoice. So if you find this solution a better solution, then you can comment in our QA chat box with yes or no. Same way, I have shown the process of generating e-invoice quickly from Busy accounting software. So both the e-way bill and e-invoice you can generate quickly from Busy accounting software with a hassle-free way. Now coming with the other best solutions that Busy software is providing. First, single click GSTR1 and IFF upload. That means from Busy you can, in one click, you can upload your form, your GST1 form in the portal directly. You no need to generate any JSON, or you no need to upload it manually in the portal. You can do it in one click. Let me show you. If you're going to use busy software, you can go to display option, you go to GST report options. From here you will get a GST return options. Here you can click this option, GST return, GST1 e-return. You can get a direct upload button from here. If you click over here, you can press OK button, and you can click with proceed with direct upload to upload your data in your portal, or you upload your GST1 in your portal. Okay, so here also busy will guide you to see the errors that you have. If you have done any kind of mistakes in the transaction, you can check it from check error in transaction. It will show you the detailed information about the mistakes that you have done in the transaction. If the screen is blank, that means you have done nothing mistakes in your transaction. You can proceed for direct upload. Same way, if you need to upload the GST1, or you need to upload your IFF, that is invoice furnishing facilities e-return, then you can click over here to direct upload your IFF from busy also. Next solution, that is Predefined GST Master. That means whenever you are going to create a fresh company, you no need to think about what are the GST master that we need to get create. It will get create automatically. Let's say, for example, if you go with the master list, duties and taxes, let me select the group duties and taxes. You will find all this master, the GST related master will get created directly in your data. You no need to create it manually. Once you create a fresh company, the master will get created automatically. All the taxation categories will get created automatically. Let's say I show you on the list. These are the taxation categories that will get created automatically. The sale type will get created automatically. You no need to create the sale types in your fresh company. It will reduce your manual work. Date-wise GST rate and HSN code. If your GST rate and HSN code has been changed with effective date, then you can do it in busy also. You can go to tax category. If you find out or figure out that your GST 12%, or let's say for example your GST 12% has been changed to GST 18%, that means whatever item was tagged under GST 12%, that has been converted into 18% with effective from 1st of July. Then you can mention the effective date and you can mention it as 18%. So from this date, your taxation reflection will take in the transaction as 18%. So you can manage to maintain your, or to change your tax rate on the basis of your effective date. Similar way, in case of HSN also you can manage it. If you're going to create any items, you mention the HSN code over here. You can click on this button to put your HSN code, or to change the HSN code with effective date. You can mention your effective date and you can change the HSN code. Let's say your HSN code has been changed into this, against this 4202 with effective date. So you can manage to have your date-wise HSN code record in busy software in your item master. Check party return filing status. This is also a very, very important and a very useful feature for mostly for the CAs, tax consultant, as well as for the customers also. Because through this feature, you can easily or highly manage to understand or get the status of your party, whether the party has filed the return at proper time, or what was the last filing date of your supplier or your customer of GST 1 and 3B. Through this, you can easily check that whether the party has filed the return at proper time or not. Let's say for example, I've select busy infotech, I am select the financial year as 24-25, and I want to see the status of both GST 1 and 3B. I select both, I press OK, then it will show me the entire history of my busy infotech, that whether the busy infotech has filed the return on proper date, and what was the last date of filing of GST 1 and what was the last date of filing of GST 3B. I no need to go to portal and check it. I can get it entire detail from my busy software. If I'm using busy software, I can get the detail directly from here in this screen, from this option, check party return filing status. Auto GST 1, 2A, 2B and 3B reconciliation. That means you no need to go to portal and get the JSON data and then upload in your software and get the reconciliation report. So this kind of things, or this kind of process, can be erased through this feature that is called auto download of GST 2 and 2B and or GST 1. You can get an auto download button over here. If you click on this download button, your data will get download automatically month on month. whatever month the data is available in the portal, that month wise data will get automatically downloaded in this screen. And against that you can get the reconciliation report also. If you go to reconciliation report, if you want to see the party wise to a reconciliation, from this report you will manage to see the mismatch entries also, whether you have done the transaction in busy but supplier has not filed the return in GSTR 1 or 2. In that case, in GSTR 1, so in that case you will get to manage, or you will get to see the entire detail against the download on this reconciliation report. The mismatch transaction will also show if you enable these features, show only mismatch. So if you need to see only the mismatch transaction, you can enable these features. So this report will generate on the basis of download that you have done from this option. Okay, similar way, if you need to download your GST1, as I said that you can directly upload GST1. Similar way, you can also download your GST1 to compare your GST1 data with sales as well as 3B, because you are going to have a download option of GST 3B. You can download the GST 3B from the portal so that you can compare your sale taxable amount or sales amount, total net sale amount with GST1 that you have filed in the GST1 portal and as well as in GST 3B portal. So you can match with these three. If there is any differentiation, it will highlight that the sale value and the GST1 value is matching, but GST1 value and GST 3B value is not matching. Then it will highlight in this way. So you can get the comparison report from here also. You can get the monthly comparison, you can get the quarterly comparison also. Okay, so it will depend on the basis of download. Once you get download, it's asking for download. You need to download first to generate this kind of reports. So download is an automatic way. You can automatically download, or you can manually download your JSON, and you can select the JSON path over here. If you have already downloaded the JSON file from the portal, then you can select this manual button to fetch your JSON file path, or you can click on this auto download to automatically download the data from the form from the portal. Next, monthly ITC tagging as per 2A 2B. Once you get downloaded your data, and if you need to claim your input tax credit on the purchase transaction, you can go to monthly ITC tagging report. You need to generate the report on the basis of party wise. You select party wise. Here all the entries will appear. Now, if you need to claim the data, or if you need to claim this entry, you can press F4 button to claim the transaction. And before going to claim the transaction, if you need to check the status of this transaction, you can press F6. It's also written in the bottom line, F6. If you need to check the status that whether the entry has been filed in 2A or 2B, whether the entry is available in 2A or 2B or not, or whether it has been uploaded in 2A portal or 2B portal or not. So once you check it, you will find the status of this transaction, and then you can claim for this transaction, whether you need to claim or not. Okay, so a shortcut to check the status of that particular transaction, whether it has been uploaded in 2A, 2B, is F6. It's also written in the bottom line. Check purchase invoice status. As I've shown, through F6 you can check the purchase invoice status from here, whether the purchase invoice has been filed in 2A or 2B or not. Error checking tools. In each and every report, in each and every form, whenever you're going to file your GST1, whether you are going to generate your e-waybill or e-invoice, each and every form, or if each and every generation of GST, you will get a error checking tool in Busy. As I've shown earlier also, previously I've shown that whenever you're going to direct upload your GST data in your GST portal, it will ask to check error in transaction. This is the error checking tool. You can get it while filing your return in portal. You can get this option while generating your e-waybill as well as e-invoice also. So whenever you are going to file your returns, or whenever you're going to generate your e-waybill or e-invoicing, in that case you will find an error checking tool that will help or guide you in the sense that whether you have done any kind of mistakes in the transactions. So it's a very, I can say it's a very useful feature that Busy is providing. Before going to file your return, you can easily check the mistakes that you have done in the transactions. GST registers and reports. So all the GST registers you can get under display option GST reports, that is the sale register, the purchase register, the 2A register, If you have downloaded the 2A and 2B form, you can get the 2A register and 2B register from here. It will show the entire history, all section wise, whether you have done a B2B invoice, whether you have done a credit and debit note, whether you have done IMPG, whether you have done SEZ transaction. If you select all, then it will show you according to the process, according to download, it will show you the reports. So this report will also generate on the basis of download that you have done. GST adjustment and payment entries by F4K. So this is also a very useful feature. It will help you to identify that how much amount I need to pay to the government as a tax. Okay. Or how much GST amount I need to do as an input output adjustment. I no need to figure out and I no need to do it manually. So Busy will guide you in this sense. So it's very helpful for the tax consultant CAs also. If you go to GST summary, you can get the entire input output detail related to GST from here. You can select the date range from which date to which date you need to get the total input amount of GST and the total output amount along with the taxable amount. From this screen, if you press F4 button, it's written on the bottom line. It will allow you to do the adjustment entries. If you have any RCM payment, you can click on this. If there is any RCM payment, then you can convert this entry in, or you can convert this into journal entry. You can credit the bank ledger, or you can say the cash ledger. If you're going to make the RCM payment to bank, you can create your bank. You can create the bank from directly from here also while pressing F3 button. If you have created some bank called HDFC Bank, I'm creating one bank. And if I click on the save button, from here my general posting will take place. That will show the GST nature as GST payment to government. That means I'm going to make the RCM payment to government. If I save, see, you can see I no need to select the debit ledger. I no need to select the credit ledger. My debit ledger and my debit amount has been posted automatically. Just I have to need to press F2 button to proceed further for making the payment entry or making the journal entry completed. So I can mention the challan number, the date, the check date, bank name and bank BSR code to save the transaction. Similar way, if you press F4 button, you can, if you need to adjust your RCM with the regular tax, you can click over here. If there is any RCM entries available and you need to adjust that with your regular tax, you can click over here. From here also your general posting will take place where your ledger will get debited and your respective ledger will get credited along with the respective amount. You no need to manually figure out and you no need to do the entry manually. Okay, so if you need to do any input output adjustment, you can click over here. If there is any input tax need to be adjusted with output tax, then also you can manage to generate a auto general posting from this screen. Okay, cross adjustment, if there is any cross adjustment, then also you can do it. So shortcut key is F4. Through F4 you can easily manage to adjust your GST entries through journal. If you have any tedious amount that need to be adjusted with output adjustment, or if you have any TCS amount, then you can click this box, or you can go to regular GST payment. After getting certain input output adjustment and cross adjustment, if there is any GST amount that is remaining that is needed to be paid to the government, then you can proceed with regular GST option. From here you can select the bank ledger also through which bank you are going to make the GST payment to your government. So you can see, if you press F2 button, you will find this amount is coming automatically. So you just need to pay the IGST amount. So IGST amount is pending at our end that we need to pay to the government. Okay, so this is how you can easily manage your tax adjustment entries from Busy software. So this is also a very useful feature. If you find out this as a useful feature, you can also comment in a QA chat box with yes or no. Audit report for e-way bill and e-invoice. So this feature helps to identify whether there any human mistakes has been done or not. That means if your operator is going to record your sale transaction and the operator forgot to generate the e-way bill or e-invoice for that particular transaction, the transaction was eligible for e-way bill and e-invoice, but the operator didn't generate the e-way bill and e-invoice for that particular transaction, how you can get this audit report? So let me show you the feature. You can get this report from transaction, GST miscellaneous utilities, And under E-Waybill E-Invoice Management, you will get this option called E-Waybill Audit Report and E-Invoice Audit Report. From here, you can get to see what are the transactions where E-Waybill is needed to be generated but not has been generated. So it will show the specific transaction where E-Waybill was needed to be generated but not has been generated. So from here also you can go proceed further for generation of your E-Waybill. Similar way, you can get the E-Invoice Audit Report from here also. You can mention your starting date and ending date to get the entire transactions where E-Invoice has not been generated. So it's written over there, invoice for which E-Invoice is not generated. That means these are the invoices where E-Invoice has not been generated. Okay. So it will help you to figure out or find out what are the transaction where E-Waybill and E-Invoice has not been generated by my operators, or operators done a certain mistake. RCM posting on single clicks, as I've shown it previously, that for posting of RCM you can use this feature called check post. Under GST miscellaneous utilities, which is under transaction, you can use this option called check post consolidated RCM. If you need to generate RCM against a multiple transaction on monthly basis, then you can select monthly basis. If you need to generate a single RCM payable transaction against a multiple RCM entries, then you can go with daily basis also. In case of daily basis, it will show date-wise transaction, and once you press F4 button, then it will allow you to generate a consolidated RCM for multiple purchase entries. Okay, so this RCM value, that the transaction that will appear in the journal entry, the amount will include both the transaction or will include the multiple transaction value. So this is not going to generate for each and individual transaction. It will get generated in consolidated way against a multiple transaction. And for the last, I would love to share with all of you that Busy Accounting Software Concept, Busy Infotech Private Limited Company has been appreciated by the Government of India for promptly filing the returns in proper time and payment of goods and services tax. And this has been possible by using Busy Accounting Software. So if you need to get this kind of achievement or appreciations, then you can use Busy Accounting Software for your business. To make your business easy, use Busy. Also, if you need to transform your business, simplify your GST compliances, use Busy Accounting Software. If you need to manage your effortless GST operation, use Busy Accounting Software. If you need to keep your GST filing error-free with advanced feature, you should use Busy Accounting Software. And if you maximize your accuracy and minimum effort, then you can use Busy Accounting Software. That's all from my side. Hope the session was knowledgeable for all of you.